think this would be cool. Yeah.
I could have had mine doing the recording. I got a fucking.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Type.
All
I
right.
don't have a tripod for mine.
Okay. Well.
And I don't want to be weird about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here, take a cup.
Yeah, maybe if we
go
can.
ahead.
Yeah, if they make us cop it, I'll cop it. And,
I can just airdrop this shit to you, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know
yes,
how long
sir.
it's gonna be, but hopefully not crazy long. Let's see.
There we go. There we go. Move this out of the way a little bit. Okay. Yes, sir. All right, man.
Once the drinks are done, if you just want to grab those, 'cause I think they're done. They just haven't said anything.
Okay.
Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. It's me, Tri-Town Tory, coming to you live in effect. Move this to the side of it. There we go.
Yeah. Let's see. Back it up. Should be solid.
All right, man. Okay, so I'm just gonna start talking. So Leebo tracks, man. Where you're Caleb, right? That's your official name, your government name, Caleb?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. The reason I asked is because they were saying, where's Caleb at the show? And I was like, who's that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I seen that on your Snap, it says Wiz Caleb.
Yeah.
Right? So I put two and two together, a little detective work. But my government name is Victor. But I took that and I turned it into Tory, the Tory Northwest thing. I wanted to make the Northwest my brand. I know that you're very conscientious of your region, and I noticed the storm aesthetic that you have along with your imagery and your marketing. Mm-hmm. Where does that come from? Where does the storm aspect, the lightning bolts, like the whole vibe that you kind of have going on?
I don't really have like a specific like range where I started using it. Mm-hmm. I just know that I don't know, at some point when I was promoting my events or my shows, mm-hmm. I realized that the lightning bolt was just something that I was using pretty often. Yep. So over time, it just became like what I was known as and what people kind of like noticed me as, just like being a part of the lightning bolt. So like whenever you sing lightning bolt or whatever, you would kind of like know that was maybe something that I might have produced, or I don't know.
That's how you came on my radar, man, because I was also using the lightning bolts the same way that you did. And when I noticed that you were doing it, I was like, okay, hold on. I got to look into this guy, and I got to see, if he's, copying my shit, or if I'm copying him without even knowing it. And I was looking into it. You weren't even from the area, I think. You came from down south, or?
I'm originally from Augusta, Georgia, but all my career of like being a musician, mm-hmm. all my career of doing events, it's all based from here. Like I haven't even done a show in Georgia yet. Like I haven't even done anything. I don't even have like much work out there yet. But we're gonna change that soon. But as of now, like everything that I have is out here.
I seen that you have a tour in the works that you're working on right now, and there's like an Atlanta date on there. Yeah. So you are planning on hitting the South pretty heavy this go through. Let me ask you this: when you're planning something like a tour, how long do you put in the preparation to make sure that that's executed solid? Like
as much time as I can. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really know exactly how much time it's going to take, or exactly how much time I need to give myself. I just know that I just can't go through the motions. I gotta be going hard, and I'm gonna take as much time as I can, because it ain't nothing that I've ever really done. I'm just gonna take a shot.
No,
if it fails. If it's good, we go crazy again. Live to see it another day.
I love it, because it looks like you have a high success rate with the experimental approach, in mm-hmm. a sense. Because I'm the kind of guy who builds the plane, flies the plane, lands the plane, so to speak. But so are you. But I also noticed that you also will hop out of that plane and pull the parachute out of that motherfucker. And I love that, because that experimental aspect is what got me really into rapping. Because I'm not the street dude. I got into the game when Lupe Fiasco was, like all these guys were coming up. So it was a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Kanye really kicked the door down. I noticed that Kanye's a big influence in your life.
Yeah, Kanye's that's the guy right there, man.
When it comes to the experimental stuff, I see you being a lot cut from the same cloth. I also saw your Spotify Wrapped Up, and I see that you had like at least 12 more hours on Kanye than you did on Drake, mm-hmm. which that's my kind of person, somebody who gravitates more towards that than nothing against Drake, but I think we all know that Drake's a little cookie cutter when it comes to a lot of his stuff, right?
It's very already. we already kind of understand like what's gonna happen when we see a Drake album. We kind of already understand what the song's gonna go like, the structure, but like
because he's already done it. Every song that he drops, he's done a better version of it in the past.
Type. No, but Drake's the GOAT. But it's just it's type. You already kind of know what's gonna happen. You already know like the aspect of what he's hitting. But Kanye's just always doing something different, and that's what I like about him. He's like, you never really know what you're gonna get from him. He's hella random. He's involved with everything and
deeply.
He's gonna give you whatever it is. He's gonna give you a good spin of it. So that's kind of like what I try to do.
So if you wanted to do a track, since we're talking about the mainstream right now.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to do a track with any mainstream artist right now, who would you pick and why?
Damn. It'd have to be. It'd be tough. It'd be definitely either Kanye or Tory for sure.
Oh, okay. I've seen his name popping up in your
Spotify rap.
Yeah.
It'd be either him or Kanye West for sure.
What about him specifically gravitates you towards his sound?
His unique vocals, his unique production, and just he's a pioneer in a whole different way. Like he has a lot of work with like the mainstream category, but he's more independent, so you don't really hear about him like that. But everything he does is also experimental in its own way and more electronic. But he also does experiment with hip hop. So having him mix my vocals or produce a beat for me, or like if I could get him on a song with one of my shits, bro, that'd be like my all-time, like that'd make my life.
That'd be insane.
Like after that happens, it goes. We drop it, everything goes good. We do maybe one show up, our life's complete. You know what I'm saying? I'm solid.
So that's what we're working towards, right? Because I believe that our idols become our peers if we stick with it long enough. That even on the local spectrum, I mean, there's guys that when I wanted to get into the rap game, I was looking and they were doing it around here, and I never thought they would even acknowledge me one bit. And then fast forward to when you're doing your thing years later, and then they're reaching out to you to get a piece of what you got going on, so to speak. So it's all a blessing because I believe this stuff works in cycles. You're on top sometimes, and then sometimes you're climbing back. What I noticed about you, man, from meeting you about 2 weeks ago or so, is you're a very humble guy, deeply.
Very.
And I feel like that because I've watched like some of your family reactions to your songs, like the TikTok stuff that I think that's real awesome, man. Your mom's reaction to to No X, I think it was, with the $20 line.
Yeah.
I reacted the same way when I first heard it, man. I love that because you don't hold any punches when it comes to this music. You speak about real things that are going on in real people's life.
Facts.
I mean, what's the line? My ex became. What's the line on the hook? It goes.
I left my old bitch broken and she started selling pussy. Yeah. I guess I can't be surprised since she living off a groupie.
It's amazing because especially in the Tri-Cities, man. The sex worker stuff has really been prominent in the Tri-Cities.
It is,
and I believe that ever since the Future and like Young Thug and like Atlanta really got it popping, we put a positive spin on things in that nature.
That's true,
and I think it's great because it brings protection to women. I mean, and that's what we need to do. We need to protect women. And your music is very fun in that sense where you're not derogatorily tearing women down, but you are recognizing the realities of the world.
Very, very much.
And you're not biased in the sense where you're trying to push your message along about anything. So I think that the youth really gravitate towards that. And you're a young guy. How old are you?
I just turned 24 this year.
24.
So I feel like I'm at an age where like I know exactly where I want to go, but I also want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of all the time that I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a lot way to go. Like Kanye West didn't blow up until he was 28.
Yep.
I feel like
Eminem 30.
That 28, 30s, 2 Chainz like 31 or 32. You know what I'm saying? I feel like where I'm at right now is exactly where I feel like I'm supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I could always be higher, but I feel like everything that I've done up until this point definitely was worth it.
Definitely.
Because I'm starting to develop a good team, and I feel like everything is going right right now. So I just got to keep doing what I'm doing.
Hell yeah. And you're very conscientious of like the realities of the rap game, and that the music industry really used to be smoke and mirrors and go off of a facade. So you don't get too caught up in the glitz and the glamour of what that could be. And you stick more to the underground and do things almost like a do-it-yourself punk rocker.
Yeah.
And I noticed that what I really like about that is I feel like you've been that way since probably the beginning. because I was watching your early videos, and it, like I said, you have like a toolkit that you've been acquiring tools, and now your toolkit's probably full. You know, because the visuals are top notch. I love the video work that you have going on. It's so dynamic, so explosive. It's definitely catching the attention of the youth right now. Like I remember when the drill scene happened in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's when the video work really started getting like super flashy, super choppy.
Yeah.
And the ones who are watching and paying attention, they took it and ran with it.
Right.
And I noticed that your team's definitely running.
We're coming.
And I love it because everything's clean and crisp and clear. What is the importance of making sure that you're ready to create the image rather than just, this is me, I'm raw, let's put a camera up, let's do it, let's get it, you know? What's the importance of that when it comes to a young artist trying to build something long, you know, longevity? Because I know a lot of people they just want to get something out there fast, and the problem with that is that the plays might not match up, and then that might discourage them from continuing on and making music. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what would you tell these young guys who get caught up in the likes and all that shit, you know?
Oh, okay, I got that.
You know what I'm saying?
We can cut right there, just so that way we save that.
For sure.
We're good though. Maybe we can back the video up a little bit. Let me see, just a little bit. All right, cool.
For sure.
Just a little bit.
And for our listeners at home,
we'll start now.
And for our listeners at home, we've congregated today in a Starbucks, man. This man's always on the move. I'm trying to definitely keep up with him. Thank you for making time. But the question that we have, what would you say to the youth? Because that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on the youngins. About not getting caught up in the plays and the followers and just focusing on the art, you know? Like, what would you say about that? On that topic?
I would definitely say that the social media platforms are a very big portion of what people should be investing their time in. But most importantly, for the generation that we're going into now, it's almost more important to kind of understand the business side of things. Because you could spend your entire career, you know, developing this art, developing this craft that's very beautiful, and you could be the top 5% of creators, you know, but not everyone gets a chance. Not everyone blows up overnight, you know. There's not enough space in the world for everyone to blow up. So it's important for you at least to know the business to a point where you can at least make a living off of your craft. Because if you just spend all your time creating this craft, you know, and you don't get seen by the right looks or you don't get those right connections, you may never be able to live off that craft. You know what I'm saying? So
develop the business acumen.
Develop the business just as fast as you're developing the art. So that way, your development is all at the same point. You know, you got merch. You know, there's a lot of people in the game, I feel like, that have millions of followers on TikTok. You know, millions of followers on Instagram, but they don't have any merch. They don't have anything to sell. They have a bunch of followers, and I'm sure they're going to get, you know, sponsorships, promotions, all that. But for the most part, if you don't have merch, if you don't have anything to sell, it's just like you don't capitalize off of that. And there's a lot of traffic that, you know, like social media, it's all about traffic. You know, your followers matter, but like at any point you could lose retention. Like Instagram, you know, they don't like always show your content to everyone that follows you. So
the algorithm.
It's essentially just traffic. So you must capitalize off that traffic as you're getting it. You know, so you may have 1,000 views on your story today, but tomorrow you might only get 300 views.
Exactly.
So it's important to have merch on your website link or be always talking about it or whatever. So because you never really know when your views might get shadow banned or dropped off. So you got to capitalize on today, and also don't get too wrapped up. Most importantly, don't get too wrapped up in numbers online. Like I've thrown shows with people that have had millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of views on things and platforms that I thought, you know, they do matter, and then I try to bring them to a show, an event. We're not selling tickets. We're not getting that much website traffic. You know, like it's all about organic relationships and team bonding. It's all about a team, and it's not really about Instagram. Like anyone can go and buy a bunch of views, buy a bunch of likes, but it's just, and that does help. But it just don't think that is something you can base someone's actual progress off of.
Don't focus on that primarily.
No.
And you mentioned something. You mentioned something real good. Like artists can't even sell tickets, but they have millions of followers. that plays into the demographic sort of things when it comes to analytics.
Yeah.
When we talk about business acumen, we talk about knowledge, right? Understanding how business works. But there's also a second component to that, which is the hustle, the grind. And that's what you got. You got this hustle, this grind, this mentality that ain't nobody going to get it for you. You have to do it on your own.
Facts.
And that's what, I mean, I believe that shit. My pops is the same way. I come from a long line of thinkers that are like that. That's why we're right here at a Starbucks getting it. You know what I'm saying?
We are getting it.
But where does that come from? Like, who is your family along a run of hustlers, go-getters? You know what I'm saying?
I definitely come from a family of people that just, you know, we definitely have a lot better life than we did, you know, years ago. We never had a terrible life, but like, you know, my family had to get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad was an Army Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the military and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit!
You know, like, he was involved in my life, but not as much as he probably would have liked to be invested. You know what I'm saying? So I was
kind of like Wiz, you know, military brat almost.
Well, not that. I just like I didn't have my dad a lot in my life, so like my mom was raising me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She was getting her degree and shit in school, and managing a full-time job, hustling. You know what I'm saying? Being successful. So it was like we seen that kind of stuff, and she still at the same time making sure we still getting fed and shit. And then my dad at the same time, he wasn't no lame ass nigga either. Like, he was a hard worker. You know, he worked at college, and he could have went to college on full ride football, but he just had to, you know, he had me coming, so he had to go and get into the military and shit. So he became a ranger. He was a ranger, you know. So like that's like to be a ranger, you got to be like selected to like be a ranger. Like, he was jumping out of planes. They would send him on these crazy ass missions and shit. You know what I'm saying? Missions that aren't even documented. So he was like.
Damn, like
he was
that,
like in like that hustler type. So I get it from my mom because she has a successful business. Like, I get it from my family, you know what I'm saying? Family, and also just for myself because like I'd rather like try everything I can than leave like feeling like I could have did more. Because it's like I always remember like I just know like I don't want to go to having to work for somebody else or have to be like stuck like in a way of someone can control my mental space, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure I'm going hard for people around me so that way I can continue to I gotta bring everyone with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to build your dream so you don't have to help another person build theirs.
Yeah,
in a sense. Yeah, I love that about you. We were talking about your music earlier, how you're so hands-on about every level of the music. Do you look for new areas for you to continue to grow in? Kind of like how Kanye moved to tech and fashion and things of that nature. I want to talk about Eternal Productions and everything that comes along with that. Yeah. Your clothing line, your merchandise is really, really awesome. It's really unique in a sense because it has like, it's not just screen printing. Like there's like other elements to it as well. It looks like there's some hands-on, like maybe you guys do some rhinestones and things of that nature. Baby Goth, in a hoodie that you had.
Yeah.
You're starting to get some underground. I wouldn't call him. Well, yeah, she's a celebrity. You know, TikTok celebrity. You know,
she's up there.
I'm gonna give her flowers while she can't. Well, we can give them out. It's only gonna get bigger.
Thanks.
You're big on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was on your TikTok and I was checking it out, and you know, 1 million likes and things of that nature. That shit don't faze you. None of that shit phases you.
Doesn't matter.
What's the idea behind the like? I feel like there's no stage with 20,000, 30,000 people that would even like bother you. Like, does that come from your family, like your upbringing? Like,
I just think it comes from just like being around people, like, cause like I don't know. I've been in the game and I've been around celebrities. I've been around people. I've done shows with 2-5 people. I've done shows with 1,000, 2,000 people. You know what I'm saying? But like I realized that at the end of the day, they just as human as I am. You know what I'm saying? People there's nothing special about anyone except the idea of them. You know what I'm saying? So if your idea of them is a huge person, you know them and all this stuff, and you have all these fantasies and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, no weird shit. But it's just like, that's how important they are. But if I don't know you, then why am I like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
You're just as human as I am.
Right.
So it's just like, I think, I don't know, I never got big-headed about likes or social media because I just realized all that stuff can be generated. Like, I see it. I've been to LA, I've been around people that, you know, people would say like, damn, this nigga is like up, you know what I'm saying? But really, it's just the front, you know, and you can buy all that stuff for like very affordable prices, and it's just, you get the right marketing behind it, it makes it look kind of real. You know, if you someone goes and buys 10,000 followers, boom, on there, they invest into a few different big article shout outs on like DJ Academics. The label blows them up on Academics and World Star Hip Hop. You blow them up on top 3 hip hop pages, and you just put 20,000 followers on them. They're gonna have a following of at least 5,000 after that, like for sure.
So if you did like a budget of maybe like 10 grand or something and just focus on blogs, you would see that sort of rise that you see like when like Trippie Redd came out of nowhere and was all over the blogs. He caught fire. Yeah, that's all it really takes. If the brand and the idea is substantial and solidified, that once you get to that plateau, it starts rolling on its own.
That is true.
So, what are your plans for the future, man? Like we talked a little bit about the tour. Is the tour going to be in association with an album that you're working on, or is it just going to be like you have songs that you've dropped and maybe you'll wrap them up together on a project, or what's the approach? Because I know the traditional approach of people when they go on tour and they want to do the album and then plan a tour out for 6 months or something. Well, what's the idea with your tour?
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm just gonna go about, like, I never really plan anything, to be honest. Like, I do plan things that like involve people's like money and investments. Obviously, like I make sure there's a order of running things. But as far as creative planning, I don't really have a clear plan on what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna do some lit shit. You know what I mean? I know I might throw something out there that people like have never seen or heard before, because I gotta take it up to that next level. You know what I'm saying? I gotta transition into higher levels. You feel me? So like, I don't know exactly. It might be a new album, might be a new EP, might be 2 EPs, might be a few music videos, it might be a vlog. You never know. So in the next few months we'll find out, because I'm just going with time. Yeah. I go around, I see what people are doing around me, and then I figure out how I should involve my shit in between all that.
It's really dope, because it's kind of like how Kanye goes about it, in a sense, because he's ripping the wires out of everything until the last second. Like, he's taking the layer off, putting a different layer, and it's like Waves can turn into The Life of Pablo, or you know what I'm saying? The name changes, the ideas, the concepts. So it's really something like that, because you really don't know where you're going until you're already there, almost, right?
Pretty
in a
much,
sense.
bro.
It's like water, it's just flowing.
It's flowing. There's direction, but I don't have like clear cut out things for everything. I just have the things that I know that are very like, I know I can't fuck up on, like money, like planning a tour and like managing people, stuff like that. That stuff I definitely make sure there's a plan for it. I'm involved. I'm consistently micromanaging the project. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like music, things that are fun and like people can, at any day they can wake up and I have a new project. I just kind of I play around with what's going on around, and shit. Who knows? Something blows up overnight, or people are engaging more on my social media because it's something that's going on in the world. I'll post it then. I just want to make sure that everyone can tap in with it, bro. Because I'm actually, I'm doing my best to make some fire shit. Like it's some real fire shit, for real.
I like the Storm Jam and the skate park event. You understand culture so well. Like, there's a skateboarding culture and there's a punk rock culture that kind of exists in every stretch of the map.
Everywhere.
And you know how to bring people together in a way that you could have strangers just walk into a building and then they're making friends. And like, there was so many kids who came up to me and just introduced themselves, and I'm like, this is so much different than the shows that I've done, where everybody kind of sticks to their own little pockets.
Fuck
and
that, man.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either. I think there's something futuristic about breaking down walls and barriers, because the world is becoming more of a cubicle style matrix plug and play, but you're anti that.
Yeah, I'm more about like flowing with the event. Just like my life, I flow my events that way. I do have structured events, but as far as like when I bring people in my show, I make sure everyone understands we're here to have fun, we're here to network, we're here to celebrate. Because like, not every day you can come together. As you see coronavirus, not every day we can come together and actually come and do something we all kind of enjoy together, you know what I'm saying? So I was like to tell everyone, you never really know who's in the crowd around you. You never really know who is going to be who in the next 2 weeks, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't that the truth?
It's just important that I tell everyone, make sure y'all in here network. So that way, not only do I have a reason for them to stay to the end and and make the event more lit, but that way, as a community, we all keep each other interlooped. Because if everyone can stay interlooped and together, it's more than just coming together for the next concert. It's more like it's a reunion. Like, we coming back. It's the fucking reunion, bro. Like, nigga, are you going to the reunion next Saturday? Like, I ain't seen my brothers and sisters since last, you know what I'm saying? When was the Storm Jam? When was the Storm Jam? November 27th. It's like, bro, I haven't seen my family and my brothers and my cousins and sisters since the 27th November, bro. We got to make sure we come to this shit. We got to make sure we're there, supporting, buying merch, all that. Because, like, this shit really can change people's lives. Like, it's not even about supporting the scene. It's about being there as the person who you are, because somebody in there might know somebody that might be able to help your situation or bring you out of whatever, or bring you closer to what you've been trying to get into. Like, there's a lot of talented producers, artists, fashion brands, photographers, videographers, DJs, podcast hosts, you know, artists / people, superheroes, you know what I'm saying? So it's important that even the regular 9-to-5 worker comes to these, because they can figure out a way to get a side hustle, or figure out a way to get involved in this scene that could possibly free them up one day. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stay involved.
We talked about the pandemic a little bit. What did the pandemic do to your grind, your hustle?
Bro, it made me a different animal, like, for sure. I mean, before pandemic was the last show I did was the Spring Bash in Vancouver, Canada. Yep. And after that was the start of the coronavirus. After that March, which was 2019, I think, or 2018, one of those. But basically made me focus more on, like, my online presence. So that's why I started doing TikTok. Made me focus more on my branding with my social media and my clothing brand, because I wasn't really pushing that before coronavirus, bro. Eternal page probably had like 1,000, 1,200 followers, and maybe one post every 2-3 months. So since then, I post at least, you know, it's a lot more active, you know, and it just turned me into more of a. It made me realize the importance of keeping people together online. Relationships existing on text messages. It just made me really like, all right, I'm staying in. I'm not going to just be moving around fast, like city to city. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm actually creating actual relationships with people, not just getting clout and all this shit. Like,
right. Not just taking, but giving back as well. Yes, definitely.
I'm gonna make sure I'm like actually telling these people, like, I appreciate them, and I thank you guys for always fucking with me, because traffic, all that clout shit, like, I've had, you know, 10,000 story views. I've had 15,000 people looking at my page in one given 24-hour segment on Snapchat. But it's like, if they're not actual relationships, then does it even exist? Does the traffic even exist if they're not going to stay there? Right. Or they're not going to invest? Like, it doesn't matter. You can have 20,000 views on your story today, but if you don't have a product, if you don't have a genuine thing going for you with your craft, or if you're not making those actual relationships, they'll disappear over time.
Yeah. People move. People move on. So it's important for you to bring them beneath the surface level by your engagement. Yep. And I noticed that too, because you are behind the messages and you're in the comment section, and you're more of you have traditional aspects to you which help us kind of structure out what we're doing, but you're really new age in the sense that it's you doing all the legwork in that sense. And let me ask you this, mental health, when it comes to always being online, I've dealt with it because I live on the internet. I really do, man. I get a lot of shit done on the internet.
Me too.
But it has a toll with the mental health aspect. Do you ever experience that? Do you feel like you have to unplug sometimes? You maybe go on a hike, ride a bike, do something. You do the same. Take your dogs out.
I definitely do take like mental breaks. I guess I don't necessarily like stop looking at the internet. I think what I do is just more like I just kind of slow down my pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always still plugged in, but I just slow my pace down, and I stop necessarily doing the jobs or the work that I'm supposed to be doing, and I kind of just use my phone for more like the fun things, or my computer for like Twitch, you know, YouTube and like Netflix and stuff. Like, you know, I'll like slow down and like stop looking at Instagram for a while, stop looking at TikTok for a while, stop messaging people back, you know, like just kind of break away from like stuff.
Like self-care in a sense. You create a barrier.
I slow down and I stop looking at messages and shit. Like, I don't, niggas be thinking I'm a norm and shit. Like, no, I'm actually just like, I'm slowing my process down. Because on a typical day, I'm probably messaging like 50 to 100 people. Like, a typical day, like on text, like at least 15, 20 people a day. I got multiple group chats in there that I'm messaging right now. I got Snapchat trading group that I'm running. I got multiple, over 20 Instagram groups that I'm involved in. You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned trading. Let's segue into that a little bit. So are you big into the stock world and cryptocurrencies, NFTs? What's your view on that as far as, because that's kind of where the future's heading. I think a lot of people want to be involved in this new metaverse and the Web3 and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Stocks. When did you get interested in being involved in like trading and being in the stock market and stuff like that?
Let's do a cut right here, and then let's do like one more 5-minute like segment. Well, 5-minute more video.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got at least 26 minutes though, so that's perfect. So around like 30-35 minutes. That'll look clean.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay, so we just cut that, so you can kind of come back in like commercial break type shit, and then you can kind of bring up the question again about the crypto stocks, and we'll go from there.
For sure. Okay. And like I said, man, this is Tri-Town Tory, and I got my man Leebo right here.
Let's get it, man. Let's go with y'all.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on this because I've recently become, since the pandemic, I've become really interested in the fluctuation of the markets when it comes to stocks and how crypto works and the NFTs. And it really is like the art world, because you know the art world with paints and people will pay what they believe something's worth, right? So that's how the NFT world is working. Do you have any plans on maybe getting into the NFTs yourself personally, or how do you feel about the world that we're heading towards with the metaverse and the Web3 and things of that nature?
Me, I've personally done a lot of shifting around with my portfolio as far as like my investments and stuff like that goes, and my overall investments. I'm definitely a believer in like crypto. I'm a believer in NFTs. I'm a believer in Web3, all that meta stuff, because if you look at technology over time, our livelihoods, everything that we do is shifting to online. You know what I'm saying? So over time, the technology is only going to advance. It's inevitable. We have computer processors working on new computer processors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
It's not even the people working on the processors. It's the computers working on the processors. So we have no choice but to elevate our mind and, you know, get with what's going on. So I definitely invest in a lot of crypto. As much as I can. I'm probably investing monthly, like every month I'm putting money into different coins, altcoins. I'm doing a little bit of crypto staking right now with OWN. There's a lot of different things that I'm invested in, and not only that, just investing into my clothing brand and shit, but NFTs, I haven't really got too much into the NFTs. I've taken a look at it. You know, I'm on OpenSea. I got my wallet and everything connected up to OpenSea and shit, so I'm definitely going to probably launch an NFT collection probably by mid next year. Like, it's just a matter of me just finding the artist I want to work with and just throwing it on there. But I'm definitely watching videos, educating myself. Shout out Money Man, shout out Bandman Kevo.
There we go.
They're spreading some big love.
There we go.
And giving some gems out. But I got into stocks and crypto probably about a year and a half ago, like kind of after coronavirus, because
right in the heat.
It was kind of like so many things dropped off, and it was kind of like, damn, everyone was talking about it, like crypto this, stock this. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I kind of invested, and I saw how my money multiplied. I'm like, damn, after like a good 5-6 months, I'm like telling my whole family, like, I'm gonna make sure y'all everybody investing, man. Like, bro, I had this amount of money in there, it turned into this. Like, if I would have put this in there, man, it would have been this. Like, if I would have put this in there, it would have been this. Like, it's like, come on, guys.
Crazy.
And a lot of niggas don't know that. So that's why I started my group, and I started talking to it about more, because I want my people to be as powerful as me. Because if my people just as powerful as me, then that makes me a more powerful person.
How can someone get a part of that group?
The best way to get a part of the group is have me on Snapchat at WIZCLEB. You know what I'm saying? Message me on there. There is a fee, but if you know what I'm saying, if you come through, you say you saw the podcast, Tory's podcast.
There you go.
I'll let you in there for $5.
There we go.
Easy.
Okay.
We got limited space left.
That's an exclusive right there.
It's
Hell
an exclusive. You say you know Tory, you know you came from the podcast. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you in there for the low, but you know, small fee, because I have different analysts in there. Got my guy Alex Z. Shout out Alex Z.
There you go.
I got my guy Alex from Miami. He's in there. He has a Discord group where he manages different stocks, and he has a few bots that analyze the market, ups, highs, and lows, and good price buy-in points and low points. And then I also have just friends and family in there. That's just, we all invest, share ideas. It's a community.
Yeah.
About 60 of us right now.
Very dope.
Yeah.
I think that me and you can agree when we say that the robots can take over just about any job and automate it, but they can't really do this art shit like we can. I mean, that's never gonna ever change. I feel like people are always gonna need music or some form of art to kind of numb the reality of what we live in. So I think that having one foot in the art world and one foot in the tech space is really the only way that the safe way for us to move in the future. So that's why TikTok's really amazing, because it's really bringing the artistic side out of people who maybe would have never did anything out of their comfort zone.
True.
I see people who would never talk to me in a public setting, but they're over here doing a dance on TikTok and singing and going crazy, getting lit. And then the next time you see them after that, they might talk to you.
That's true.
It breaks their shell.
That's true.
So I think that people like us are really thinking about the future right now in the present while fixing the past.
Facts.
Because we're really working on that. Time is a man-made construct.
It is.
It really is. Heaven and hell, all these ideas exist at the same time. I'm a spiritual person, so I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I really do appreciate you coming on the podcast. And I have a couple more things that I want to touch on before we end this podcast. But specifically, if someone wants to get fully immersed in what you are, as far as an artist, a businessman, where can they find you on your social media platforms and things of that nature? Like, I have listeners all over the world, but the internet's accessible to everybody.
Correct.
They wanted to find you in the visual sense, the audio sense. How are we going to navigate them through to that?
Best way to get a hold of me basically would be just hit me up on Instagram if that's what you have. I have all social media platforms, and my username right now is at Leebo Tracks at all platforms. Leebo Tracks, one word. DM me on there. Let me know, hey bro, like I like what you're doing. First let me know that you acknowledge what I'm doing first, and then just let me know that you want to be a part of it, or hey, what you're able to do. So that way, if you tell me you're an artist or you tell me you're a videographer, I might just be like, that's dope. Like, ask you where you're from, and then we can figure out a way to plug you in. I'm all about plugging people in that are hungry for opportunity, because if you're hungry for opportunity, those people usually can do more than what they say they can do. Those people can do a lot more, and they'll help you a lot more than someone that you're just trying to ask to do something. If someone's coming at you because they want to do something, that means they'll go up and above to make sure that the quality or the product or whatever it is that you need to do, or they'll do more. So it's like, I make sure I take care of people that are coming at me.
You unlock potential in people.
Yeah,
that's really awesome, because like, I have the feeling that you're the kind of person who would put your resources on the table for somebody if you knew that would unlock their potential, and then bring the 75% that's hidden inside of them out, like a videographer.
I definitely would,
like
and
you're saying.
I definitely have, and I'm all about incentivizing, giving people not only, like, sometimes those gifts can come in forms of knowledge. So I remember I told my DJ Cadillac of Tokyo, shout out Cadillac Tokyo. I was like, bro, I want you to be more than just my DJ. I want you to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I could teach you things to make more money. Just and over time, since I've told him that, now he makes more from the skills and the knowledge that I've taught him than he did as a DJ. But if I didn't teach him these things, then he just would have been thinking that he was just a DJ in my program. So now when he works with other people, he's like, not only is he making sure he's getting more respect from those other people he's working with, but he's able to bring more value to these people now because of what he knows. So every time I talk to somebody, I try to enlighten them or give them more game, or like, even when people are performing, I'm like, yo, tell them to turn the lights on, or like, hey, tell them to chant your name, because people don't know what could happen if they just if they just hear something. Like I told my homie Ozzy Clean, shout out Ozzy Clean, at the Storm Jam, I was like, bro, I told everyone before he performed, I'm like, bro, I'm like, shout out Ozzy Clean, he got the most people in here tonight. Ozzy Clean. And I'm like, before he's about to perform, I'm like, Ozzy, tell him to shout, tell him to chant Ozzy. Yeah. Everybody, chant Ozzy, 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 Ozzy.
Yes.
So I'm like, people don't know what they're capable of, so I try to throw a hint at them, because like, if you got half the people in the room, what's stopping you from having that room shout your name?
Very much so.
I just try to give people, what they need, bro.
You knock the blinders off and you illuminate what's possible.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful, because that's something that like a big brother would do, or it's somebody who cares.
Yeah.
So for you to care so openly about people that maybe you met not too long ago, it really says a lot about your character. And the people that are around you that want to help you out and want to contribute to your movement, they do so because it's real and it's authentic.
Facts.
So that's the reason why I wanted to be a part of your show, because when you reached out to me, I didn't think that you would ever do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I've been around forever, you know, like, and the people who know me. So we just never had talked before.
Yeah.
So when you reached out to me, I was like, yeah, what's it going to take for us to do that? And you told me, and I was like, okay, I can do that, you know? So we made that happen, and it was one of the best shows that I've done in years.
That's love, right?
You know what I mean? And you know what I love about it is that it was from the ground up.
Facts.
Like, and your identity was all over that, the whole show. And I know it's only going to get bigger and better as time goes along. Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to get along to my audience that I have?
Shout out to everybody that's watching. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you like his channel. Make sure you follow him on Instagram so that way you can see what he's doing. And then through him, you'll see what I'm doing. So y'all need to stay tapped in. Shout out to all my friends, family, supporters, and, you know, all my loved ones. You know, and shout out to God. Everything that I'm doing is based off faith. You know what I'm saying? Everyone can do it as long as you believe in what you believe. As long as you believe in what you're doing, and what you're doing is real, it's gonna work out.
Yes. And also want to say that this man right here will do a track with you. He'll throw a show, put you on the show. He'll come and do your show. You have a whole menu of items that people can.
I got a little category for him. A little something.
You're ready to work.
Yeah, man.
And I love that because I'm gonna have to get a song and a music video done with you.
Let's go crazy. And y'all, hey, shout out Tory for having me on here, man. We chopped this shit up real quick. Boom. Tapped in with me. I said, I'm gonna make it happen, bro.
All the facts, man. We just wanted all the facts, and I wanted my audience to know who you were.
Oh.
So with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and sign this off, man. Thanks again, man. You already know it's Tri-Town Tory coming to you live from the Northwest, and we out. 1.